Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another episode of Call of Duty Zombies Myth-Busting Mondays. In today's video, for the final myth, we are going to be testing if whether or not that you can kill the witches and buried with the PhD perma-perk. Is it possible that the explosions are able to kill her? Because, well, we never know. Nobody's ever bothered to test it. Who goes around trying to kill the witches with PhD? So we're going to be trying that in today's video. If you guys end up enjoying today's video, please make sure you drop a like and comment down below if you have a myth of your own that you'd like to have be featured in next week's episode. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, I hope you end up enjoying this week's episode of Myth Busting Mondays. Myth: is the drop blood money called bonus points in BO4? Alrighty guys, so here comes myth number 1. So I am playing on Origins in Black Ops 3 because Origins is the only map that I know of that this drop spawns in on Black Ops 2 and 3. But yeah, here's the drop. It looks like this, and this is what it sounds like. Now this is what the same drop sounds like in Black Ops 4. So yeah, myth 1's definitely confirmed. For some reason, Treyarch just decided to retcon the name of this drop. But in my opinion, blood money just sounds cooler. Myth: can George Romero follow you down the ice slide in Call of the Dead? Okay guys, so the second myth is submitted in by my buddy Tyler. So I've opened up the path to the ice slide on Call of the Dead just now, and now I'm going to wait for George to get his ass over here, and then I'm going to shoot him just so that way he'll be able to be enraged and then hopefully follow me down the slide. Alright, so after a few minutes of waiting, George has made his way down the staircase, and in a second here I'm about to shoot him, and now I'm going to run over to the slide so that way I can see if whether or not he'll follow me. Now personally, I have only played Call of the Dead like twice, and it was just for the sake of Myth-Busting Monday, so I don't know if he will actually follow you. But let's take a look right now and see. So George, are you going to come after me? Oh yep, he does. In fact, he actually like slides after you like he's surfing. That's kind of funny actually. So yeah, myth 2 is also confirmed. George Romero will follow you down the ice slide if you choose to lead him down that path. So just make sure that you are just looking behind you so that way he doesn't jump scare you. Myth: can you stun an elite enemy in Cold War with the electric cherry effect of elemental pop? Alrighty guys, so myth 3 is submitted in by my buddy Dan. Now I'm about to buy elemental pop from the Wonder Fizz machine, and then I'm going to go over to a Mangler, which is classified as an elite enemy here in Cold War, and I'm going to reload so that way I get the electric cherry effect that you get at level 5 for this perk, and see if whether or not that this stuns the Mangler. Alright, so here is the Mangler, and I'm just basically just going to go up to him and reload, and you guys can see that purple lightning that comes out of my character, but it really doesn't look like it affects the Mangler all too much. Pretty much as soon as I activate it, I'm immediately getting hit, so it really doesn't look like it does anything. In fact, that time I was looking directly at the Mangler, and it doesn't do anything. In fact, it did so little to help me that when I got this close to the Mangler, he ended up killing me. And I've come to the conclusion that this perk really doesn't help you specifically with elite enemies. So I'm going to say that the third myth is busted because, at least for the enemies that we tested it on, there was basically no benefit. Myth: can you enter the Origins robots with just grenades? Alrighty guys, so the fourth myth of today's episode is submitted in by Ace of Spades. And Ace of Spades, thank you for commenting, it's good to see you around here again. So I am going to be trying to get into the Origins robots with just my grenades. So I'm specifically going to be using frag grenades so that way I can be able to time them, because with Widow's Wine grenades and Semtexes, those ones go off on their own and it's much more harder to time when the robot is only going to be available at certain instances. So after waiting for the right timing to find an Origins robot where the foot is in our area, I'm now going to cook a grenade and see if I can time it. When I throw it, it looks like I actually do manage to get in. Yeah, in fact I do. I'm in the foot right now, and I'm actually able to collect the Windstaff part. So yeah, you can do this. In fact, there's a variety of ways you can get into the Origins robot foots. All you really need to do is just be good with timing, and specifically in the grenades case, it was the explosion that let us in, so you just need to make sure that's within the blast radius of the foot. So yeah, myth 4 is confirmed. You can enter into a Origins robot if you just use grenades, but I was kind of expecting that since given that last week we were able to do it with just a combat knife, which for those of you guys that have not checked out that episode, I will link it down below in the description and have a annotation at the end of the video. Alrighty guys, so now we are moving on to the last myth of the episode, and once again it is going to be, can you be able to kill the witches in Buried if you use the PhD perma-perk? Is the explosion able to do damage to the witches, or can you only be able to kill her with, like, let's say bullets or something? So let's move over to Buried on Black Ops 2 and see if whether or not that this myth is confirmed or busted. Myth: can you kill the Buried witches with PhD Flopper? Alrighty guys, so for the last myth of the episode, we are now on Buried. So I am waiting for my buddy Dan to get over here to the haunted house because he's the one with PhD, and I'm going to be just protecting him / trying to keep a witch still in place, so that way he has the opportunity and the space to work with, so that way he can be able to dolphin dive and create an explosion. So this is the plan. So I'm going to have Dan try to jump off of this staircase specifically, because this gives him enough height for an explosion, while I stand there with a witch in place. I'm going to have God mode on so that way I can't die, and then Dan's just going to kill the other witches that spawn in if they are behind him. Alright, so here we go. So I'm jumping into the house now, and immediately witches are spawning in, and I'm purposely going to lure her just right outside of double tap, and Dan's going to start dolphin diving here any second now. Now when Dan does start to dolphin dive at the witch, the initial explosion looks like it doesn't necessarily reach her. So he keeps trying again and again. In fact, I was thinking that maybe that he wasn't able to get her because of the fact that she was just outside the blast radius, so I brought her just a bit closer. But now he's starting to actually be in range and hit her with his explosions. And it just looks like that the witches don't get affected by explosions. It seems that they're only getting affected by specifically bullets. Because I have had Dan jump on this witch like almost 10 times now, or just about, and the witch is still alive, and these witches don't have a lot of health. You can kill them pretty easily with even the weakest of bullet guns. And you want to know what's funny? Normal frag grenades can actually kill the witch, but PhD cannot. I am fairly certain the reason why PhD cannot kill the witches, and yet something like the frag grenades can, is because Treyarch was not counting on the players doing this, like we are right now, and was just expecting you to only use bullet guns or grenades if you happen to run out of ammo. So that means that the final myth is actually busted. You cannot kill the witches with PhD, Flopper, and Buried, but you really should be able to. I mean, let's be honest, it does make sense, because, I mean, it literally is a goddamn explosive after all, but apparently it's only up to the frag grenade to save you. Alrighty guys, but that is going to be it here for today's episode of Call of Duty Zombies Myth Busting Mondays, and I do truly hope you ended up enjoying it. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all that beautiful stuff. If you have a myth of your very own that you would like to have be featured in next week's episode, once again, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or if you want to, you can also leave them in my Discord server, which is going to be linked down below in the description. But yeah guys, I hope you ended up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers you're ever going to see. Thank you for watching guys, I love all of you, and peace out.
Hey meme lords, Jesus here. And you better have enjoyed that video there by the Eternal God Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too. And give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!